Hey everyone, so today we're going to be planting some strawberries, and as you can see, everything in the garden right now is screaming to get planted. The strawberries are absolutely taking off, so that's what we're going to plant today, and then we're going to plant some petunias as well. But before we get to planting, I do want to talk about the strawberries that we had from seed. Unfortunately, a lot of the seeds that we had in those packets looked like they were crushed. We did have some come up, but very quickly they started to die back. We had them under lights, we had them controlled with the humidity and some heat mats, and they just didn't take. We even froze some of the seeds as directed for some of the strawberry seeds, and they just didn't take for us. We're gonna try to redeem ourselves, maybe order some more and try to grow some over the summer just to see how we fare with those seeds. But I do want to talk about these strawberries right here because I just love the strawberries from Fruit Winners. They produce a lot, they have a lot of growth, and we're just excited to have these in the garden because it's something you can just come out and pick every single time and enjoy. So what we are actually planting today, I have the Berried Treasure Pink, and you can see a small pink flower there, and it's starting to produce a little bit already. We have, here, actually here's the one right here. This is the other pink one, and it has some strawberry already producing, but we want to get these planted up very quickly so they can start producing a whole lot more. And then we have right here is Berried Treasure White. And you can see this one's a little bit bigger than the other ones. It already has a strawberry there, and that's the flower there, the white. Absolutely excited for these two colors right here. They also have a Berried Treasure Red, which we do have two of those plants as well, and we're probably gonna plant those somewhere else. But for right now, these are gonna go by the Espalier apple tree where we're gonna plant these up. What I'm also gonna do is plant up some petunias. Now this petunia is a favorite, but when I say favorite, we've only grown it one time, but we've always wanted to grow it all over the garden because it's an absolute beauty of a petunia. It's one of those rare petunias that produces two different colors. When it's cooler, you start to see that pink inside this Supertunia Honey, and it just absolutely looks amazing. When it gets darker as well at night and the temperature starts to drop a little bit, you start to get some of that pink color, and I think it's gonna go well with the white strawberry and the pink strawberries as well. One thing we're gonna do though before we actually plant these up is we're gonna prune these back. One thing I wanna tell you is don't be afraid to prune these petunias back. See these getting a little bit leggy? Now we're just gonna go back to a couple buds there and just snip it right there. Not too much. I know I'm taking off some of the flowers, but I did wanna leave it on there so you guys could see the flowers, but I just want it nice and compact so when it starts to produce some more growth, it's gonna grow out the way we want it to. Now this one here is very, very leggy, so we're just gonna, again, cut it back there, get it nice and compact. That way when we plant it up there, it's gonna come back nice and neat. And that's pretty much it. So we're gonna take our containers here, we're gonna walk over to the Espalier tree and get that planted up. All right, so I have my flat plants here, and they're pretty much gonna be going into this big container here where we did the Espalier apple tree. So it's pretty much a big container. We're gonna be putting the strawberries in here, and then we're gonna be putting the petunias over to the back there because we don't want them to really spill over. We want the strawberries here to be the star in the front here, and we want them to produce and grow really, really well. I could put more, but I want those strawberries to get to that 8 to 12 inches that they're actually gonna put on. So putting two on each side, I think it's gonna do it some good. And then the petunias in the back, what we're gonna do is see how they grow, and if they grow long enough, we may try to have them climb that trellis back there because it's something we've done before with petunias, but it's a possibility of them growing long enough to have them go up that trellis there. Now, it doesn't look like much sun here, but we do get plenty of sun throughout the morning. We get the sun peeking through here right now, and then we get the sun coming from this side throughout the morning. So it's gonna be plenty of sun for these strawberries, but they do get that 4 to 6 hours of sun throughout the whole day. All right, so before we get started planting here, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put some hollytone inside the soil here because strawberries are acid-loving plants, and the hollytone is gonna definitely provide that. Normally we would use some biotone for annuals, but since we're not doing annuals here, the only thing that's going back there is the petunias. We're gonna go ahead and feed that organically with some bloom from Espoma Organic, and that way those strawberries will get what they need as far as blooming and producing some of those flowers, and then the strawberries won't be affected because it's going to be an organic fertilizer for it. So again, the first thing we're going to do is just spread a little bit of hollytone in here. I got my scoop in here. It's got a good healthy amount there, and I'm just going to scatter it around the front here where the strawberries are actually going to go. Then we're just going to scratch that into the soil there because it's a slow release. It'll feed continuously when it gets watered. And maybe we'll add some more in about 3 weeks' time. That way it continues to receive some of that fertilizer and produce some strawberry blooms. Okay, so making some room here for me to start to get planted. What I want to do is I'm going to get my white strawberries and I'm going to put those towards the outside of the container. And I'm going to put the pink more towards the inside here. What I have here is a cerveza and lime ornamental oregano, or a Cuban oregano, which has a very wonderful smell. It's called cerveza and lime. It has a little bit of a lime smell, but it also has almost like an apple smell as well. And I think that just goes perfect with the apple tree here. Now it's meant to, it says it's meant to keep away some mosquitoes, maybe some other insects. As far as that, you know, use for the plant, I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely a plant that absolutely looks lovely. Something we talked about before, me and Angie, was putting some succulents maybe around the top of this apple tree because it is in the container, the apple tree. It's not part of this whole container. It's in its own container within this big box right here. And succulents, because they don't need that much rooting, you know, putting them across the top was something that we talked about a little bit, but you know, not doing that, we have this, again, this ornamental oregano here that absolutely smells wonderful, and it has that succulent look to it, and it has a beautiful texture to it as well. So we're gonna leave that one there in the center, and we've grown this before, and it spreads absolutely wonderful. Going back to the strawberries here though, so then I have my other white strawberry here. It's gonna go towards the end here, and then my pink strawberry right here towards the inside of the container. Now, the Supertunia Honeys, we're gonna plant pretty far back. The apples are looking beautiful. We got them all over the place. Very healthy with the treatment that we've been doing. So very excited for this whole setup to come to fruition and look beautiful towards the end of the season here. All right, so very quickly we're gonna get going here with these plants. Putting that Supertunia Honey back there. Then you get this strawberry right here. Now the strawberries, again, grow about 12 to 16 inches, and the spacing is about 8 to 12 inches apart. So they'll grow about 12 to 16 inches high or mounded, and 8 to 12 inches wide. So giving it that 8 to 12 inches space right here, I think it's gonna work out just fine. And then again, try to get as much as that holly tone to fall into that hole there so it continuously feeds it. One thing I do want to do is maybe add some mulch on the top here just to keep it you know, moist on top, or maybe do some straw, which is typically done with strawberries. All right, so that is it. A quick and easy planting here in the secret garden. Just one of the many plantings that we're gonna start getting going with here in the garden, because again, the temperature is absolutely perfect right now, and it feels like the season is coming on pretty quick to get all these annuals in. We got the white strawberry, the pink strawberry, and the same repetitive thing on this side with the petunia in the back. And then again with this ornamental oregano that absolutely smells wonderful. And the one thing about this is if it spreads quite enough, it'll start to root itself. Again, we had this growing before in a container, and it spread in that container and just started absolutely rooting by itself. So that's something to look forward to. Hopefully we can get that to cover some of this area here. But again, guys, quick and easy planting. Hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate all the comments, all the support that we have been receiving, and it's absolutely great and fun to be doing these videos for you guys. So again, that's gonna do it, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.